Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So the new lockbox is out and you can of course buy it from the Wondrous Bazaar, but you can also just go kill enemies and get a whole bunch. We purchase a bunch there and we can inspect them in our inventory. Now this is going to be like the Dragon Cult lockbox. You proceed down the track and after you open 250 you get your guaranteed top tier reward, but along the way after you open 25, that's 50 companion upgrade tokens, you get to 50 and that's a random companion that can be up to epic, or it could even be Kavatos if you're really lucky. And then 75 you get 50 mana upgrade tokens, 100 it's a random mount up to legendary, or it can even be the Bigby's hand, the mythic mount new to this lockbox. Just keep in mind, again, these two, you're most likely going to end up with something green from there, so don't expect anything. 150,000 trade bars, decent, but definitely doesn't make up for the lack of trade bars overall compared to the older boxes. A coalescent moat after 200, and then 250. You get the choice pack between Bigby's hand and your Kavatos. So let's spam open 250 of these boxes and see what rewards we can hope to obtain. We know the exact drop chances, so there's not much point opening like 1,000 of these. So let's get to spamming. Immediately we can see we already obtained Bigby's hand. I don't know how quickly there because we were spamming like real quick. We've opened 19 already. We've already got 2 mythic bags of holding along with a mythic insignia. That is some luck right there. We open a few more here. We get to 25 and we get the additional bonus 50 companion upgrade tokens. Not bad. We got a legendary insignia to go with that. We'll spam open a few more here. And we can see we got another Bigby's hand. What is going on? That's crazy. Supposedly it's a drop chance of 1 in 250 and we already obtained 2. Okay then. Well, our next reward, we get a random companion to go with that. And what do you know? It's green. Yeah, so we'll open a bunch more here, getting to the next milestone. We get to that 75 and we get the additional mount upgrade tokens. We get to our next target of 100 there, opening these few more. There we go. We get our bonus reward, which is a purple butterfly swarm. We can reach our next target, which is quite a while away at 150. We did obtain a third mythic bag of holding. What is going on with these bags? And we have all those mythic rewards so far with opening 135. Open a few more here, get to 150. And you can see we get our bonus 1,000 trade bars. Still doesn't make up for the amount of trade bars you'll usually get, which when you've opened 150 with the older style lockboxes, you should have about 6,000 trade bars, not just 1,000 from there, plus an additional 475. You can see this compared to 6,000 is pretty abysmal, but we are dropping all sorts of other rewards, so just keep that in mind. And finally, let's get to the 200 mark here. Just spamming open a few more there. We just passed that by, sorry, but we did indeed get our coalescent moat, which I believe we have actually a few more in the past here, so it just ended up stacking with the rest of them there, but we can throw that up the top here. We did indeed obtain a third Bigby's hand. What did they do to the drop rate with that? That is insane, but still no Kavatos though. Let's get finally to the 250 mark. Just spam open a few more here with our last 3 to go. And that's it. Finally, we get the bonus pack, which we'll be able to choose what we want. And that's it up the top there. We can sort these items. We can see we got like nearly 2 bags full there, but we'll move the valuable stuff, in my opinion, just down here. There are some overloads that can be pretty good as well, and I definitely like them being added to this lockbox. Of course, that coal moat, the choice pack, our mythic insignia, another bag. We got freaking 3 bags there. That's just crazy. We did get freaking 16 epic color packs. I don't know what you're going to do with those. I guess kit out alts as well. You can always sell them also, but their prices have been plummeting, which isn't bad. all things considered for new players. It's the same with like all of these different companions and mounts and things dropping. It's great for new players, driving down prices, but in terms of value of the lockboxes and then getting companions to drop in dungeons is not such a rare thing anymore. I mean, it's not that highly valued. You can see these are the kind of rewards we were getting there. Most of this here is like all blue and green with a few mounts there on purple with one purple companion, a few insignias there with 3 legendaries, and our mythic rewards were just here. That's just insane. 3 Bigby's hands. That's again just my luck there. No Kavatos, so we're gonna have to open this box to claim him, and we can choose one of the following. So if you didn't get, let's say, a Bigby's hand, you could choose that. Or if you didn't get a Kavatos like I did, we will choose that. And so that's our results after opening 250. Not bad in my opinion. And we can now inspect Kavatos and Bigby's hand and see what they're like. Let's get this mount equipped. It is account wide, so you can get it on all your characters. And as promised, it does have, when you have 100% mounts bolster, that 3000 magnitude total when you attack an enemy which is control immune. 450 plus 255. And apparently they changed the equip power over to movement speed. This doesn't make any sense because there's something wrong with the tooltip. Like, it says fast striding there. It says only a 600 item level. I have 1000 bolster. What's going on? Let's buy one more of these and we can inspect them out from in there. Let's have a look. I think they broke it. It shouldn't have fast striding. It should have, when you use a daily power, you regen back some of your action points. But, and just scrolling through this here, we don't have fast striding on 3000 item level. That doesn't make any sense. And we don't have the power which gives us back that action points when we use a daily power either. I think they broke it. Wow, I guess they got some bug fixing to do there. But mounting up, you can see just there, you'll be riding around the top of the hand. My opinion, it's a little bit creepy. Not such a big fan, but again, the mount up animation, you just kind of float up with it. And then the spacebar animation is just like so. It chucks you in the air and catches you again. That is pretty neat, if I do say so. It's pretty hard to see with this FOV to follow you the whole way, but pretty neat, pretty neat. And before we test that combat power, we can check out Kavatos real quick as well. Again, account-wide mythic companion. We bind him there, we can press C, and then we can press Alt to automatically name him, and then we can go and summon him. There he is. We can see the powers that he has is defensive ward to reduce the incoming damage to the summoner for 10 seconds. Ethereal eyes deal damage to foes in a frontal cone. Lightning bolt, and that's it. A little underwhelming. And then his actual power, I believe, was defense, and we could see it just there, giving the crit chance and forte. All right for DPS and healer, but not the best with that forte in my opinion. And he doesn't have any other visuals than the default that he comes with. So let's switch over and see how these guys perform in Shut. Again, if you want to get them on your alts, you go to the claims valuables there, and we can scroll right down, and we should be able to get our Kavatos here with the companions, and then the Mount Bigby's hand just there as well. We can equip both of those. And here we have a Kavatos. We can jump to our dummy and see initially what his attacks are looking like. That was the cone, which is pretty interesting. That cone reminds me very much like what they were using, let's say, with the Intellect Devourer. Let's like resummon him and see, does he use that cone again, like straight away? He does. He could be pretty useful for AoE. He seemed he was a little bit too close. We go out of combat, we can resummon him. We attack the dummy, and again, he should use the cone straight away. He does pretty much straight away. 100k damage, that's all right. Let's check that again real quick. With combat advantage over here, he uses the cone, and 120k damage. Doesn't look the worst just for that ability. But let's get him checked out in the combat log here and see his like DPS. So while our companion's doing that, we can use our mount combat power, Bigby's crushing hand. We attack the dummy, enter combat ourselves, and we can use that hand, and that just gives it a good old slap, and we can have a look how much damage that dealt for ourselves there. Bigby's crushing hand, total of 853k base damage. True flank, no dodge, 569,000 damage after mitigation. We can check that versus, let's say, tunnel vision with the 3000 magnitude straight up. Again, attacking our dummy using the tunnel vision, and we can check the combat log. Tunnel vision hit for 680k damage with just over 1 million base damage. Yeah, I'm not sure that the extra damage from Bigby's hand is working against this dummy. That could be because he's not considered a boss with regards to his power, but that doesn't mean they screw up the coding and make it so that other bosses also aren't considered bosses for your Bigby's hand. That can definitely be problematic. I will have to test it, and I'll do so against some other bosses shortly. But let's have a quick look at how much damage was Kavatos dealing. He has the at-will attack there. Hits for like nearly 30k. Not too often. And just having a look here again, we can see his encounter DPS is pretty underwhelming. Does have the cone ability, Ethereal Eyes, which did get a max hit there of 200k. So looking pretty promising for especially an account-wide companion you can have on your alts that can do somewhat decent damage in AoE with that cone that he's doing, again with Ethereal Eyes. Now, he does have a defensive ward, which if we have a look here, he doesn't seem to give us any buff. And I don't think I've seen him giving us any HP. So if anything is a boss, then it's going to be the guy in this training room. We'll make the guys tough, and then we'll go here, get combat advantage. We'll summon that boss guy there. We have our big beast crushing hand. Go in combat, we can use it there, and we can see it hit there for over 600k. That's looking a bit more promising. We can have a look, and yes, it was hitting twice. Once for the 2550 and the other one for the 450. And that is indeed being able to crit with full combat advantage on both hits. That is very good to see with the total damage value there of 669k. That is on par what we're seeing with tunnel vision. Again, we'll just check tunnel vision against this boss, use it, and we can see just over 500k, but that was because it was a dodge. We use it again here. Damn it, not a crit. We use it a third time. And again, not a crit. Use it again. Bloody hell. And finally, 680k damage, non-dodge, and yes, with combat advantage and a crit. Compare that with our Bigby's hand, and we were getting a total of 669k damage. So is it the best, and should you be using it? Well, it actually depends. We can see it's doing slightly less damage. You can see like 494k damage there on a dodge and on a crit, and we're getting 503k. And the reason behind it is this mount is actually going to be best in slot for anybody stacking strength to gain physical damage boost versus magical damage boost. Tunnel Vision, Golden Touch, and the Giant Toad are all magical, and this new mount is physical, which means it's unique and best in slot for anybody stacking the strength ability score. There you have it. Is it the best? Yes, for certain classes. Your rogue, your ranger, I believe, your fighter, all of those melee damage dealers who want to be stacking strength for damage gain. Everybody else is using the other three because they benefit from intelligence. I might make another video going over this because this is pretty late in the video and people might not watch to the end like just now. Personally, don't open the lockbox unless you just want to get the rewards and have loads of keys lying around. Technically, you can just wait. The price will drop down on these drastically, and I personally will just buy it from the auction house and save my keys for older lockboxes. Again, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of these channel members for the continued support. And if I present this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.